Hi everyone, Danielle here. I'm going to be doing an overview of Super Pixel Tactics, the solo and co-op mode. And this is part of the Super Pixel Tactics Gamefound campaign that's going on right now, well, depending on when you're watching. And so if you've always wanted to play this solo or co-op, this is definitely your chance to. So here I have a boss. We have Trusivore and how they will be able to play Pixel Tactics against you is that they've already got their unit created. So you get a really good overview of kind of how you might want to tackle this boss. Something interesting that I want to point out right off the bat is that you're going to see this plus sign. And this plus sign is going to be on most of their units. And so when you do have a number below it, after you defeat one of these monsters, they will revive based off of almost somewhat like a timer, and I'll demonstrate that in the overview. But yeah, just keep in mind that this is actually not something that you'll see on a card, a typical card in Pixel Tactics. You normally just have these two icons, but on the monsters, you do see a plus sign, and that just basically means that those monsters can come back. They're not going to be dead forever. Unless of course it says zero or it's blank here. So we will keep that in mind. Also, something else you'll need to grab for this solo co-op mode is a D6, preferably one that only has numbers 1, 2, and 3. The boss will go through kind of these areas, but only if it's rolled. So when it's their turn, you randomly execute one of the three options here. And the best way to do that is with a d6 with numbers 1, 2, or 3. Of course, you could assign 1 and 2 to the first one, 2 and 3, 3 and 4 to the next one, 5 and 6 to the third one. But for me, I decided to print this out. All right. So you'll also want to grab your Pixel Tactics deck. So just, come prepared with a deck. Also, take this out. You'll always be first player against the monster. So definitely keep that in mind. You really won't be flipping it over to the second player. You'll be the first player. And then I always prefer to have the action reference cards handy, so I have that out as well. All right, so give your deck a shuffle. And we'll just go through kind of how a monster fight might be. So I will draw my 5 starting cards. And if you're looking for a how to play basically of, Pixel Tactics in general, this is not the video for you. This is simply highlighting the solo co-op mode. I'm going to put my deck aside, going to put my first wave card up here. Then I have my 5 cards. So I will choose my leader and ooh, cadenza is always a fun one. Your heroes and leader take 1 less damage from attacks. I think I might do that one. So yeah, I think I will. So just to show you guys, this is cadenza. It has stats of, ooh, there we go. It has stats 420. Your hero and leader takes 1 less damage from attack. So we'll put that right in the center. Then we'll have our 4 remaining cards, which will flip over to the hero side, and we'll get started. So there is going to be kind of that ceasefire, so I won't be able to attack them. They won't be able to attack me on their first turn. So I'll go ahead and take my 2 actions. So my action here, I think, will be to play Overlord right here. Going to recruit that. Overlord has intercept while it's in the front or vanguard row. And then I think I'll just use my second action to draw a card. So draw a card. I got a summoner. Return a hero in melee to his owner's hand. So some of these effects will be interesting because, typically if I were to do the vanguard effect, I might target my opponents. So we'll get to how some of these abilities might impact the boss. So now we have the boss's turn. So for the boss turn, we will look at the right side. At the start of the boss turn, they randomly execute the following. So I'll go ahead and roll the die. It's a 3. So that says Deafening Roar. The player discards 1 card at random. If they cannot, their leader takes 2 damage. So I have 4 cards in my hand. I will have to discard 1 of them. I'll just go ahead and shuffle them randomly and just draw the top one from the pile and discard it. All right, discarding a doppelganger. Okay. So now that that's completed, we look at the Vanguard row. So the Vanguard row, which is the current wave, is a ceasefire, so not really going to do anything. Back to me. So we're in this second wave right now, and I think Gunner is a promising one, so I'll recruit Gunner into this row. And then my second action, So at this point, I could attack, and I could target with this one using a melee attack with 3 damage. Yeah. So I think I will do an attack. So I will attack with Overlord. It's going to target the heavy claw. And so I will be placing some damage on there. And we'll put 3 damage onto heavy claw. There we go. I'm just going to use dice. And wait. Oh my gosh. Of course I can't attack with Overlord. What am I thinking? I'm not going to be able to attack with Overlord because that's not the current wave I'm in. So back that up. Glad I caught that. And instead, no attacks because I can't attack with a hero I just recruited. Let's see. I think I'll just do another recruit. So I'll recruit a summoner. All right. So I have 1 card left in my hand. So now it's the boss's turn. They're going to roll the die to see what happens. It's another 3. I only have 1 card in my hand to discard, so unfortunately this Templar is now discarded. And now we look at this second row. And this second row has intercept, not range, so it can't attack me. But this one has ranged, Acid Tongue, and we go from left to right when they do their actions. So they're going to attack with Acid Tongue. It does have a spell effect, deal damage to each hero in this column. So we'll go ahead and just do that. Okay, so this is going to attack for 3. So I get to decide where that damage goes. I think since Overlord has a bunch of health, I'll put the 3 damage there. But I do take 1 less damage because of cadenza from attacks, so I'll be just taking 2. So 2 damage. Now we move this down. I don't have cards in my hand, but I could look at some spells to see what I can do. I only have this spell, which is useless. So let me draw a card. It's a Mystic. We have 1/7, and I could recruit it, or I could play it as an order. Um, Not sure which route I want to take. Uh, because I could gain 3 actions. Oh wait, okay, never mind. So this order says gain 3 actions, use these actions only to play orders, operations, or traps. So that won't be helpful. All right, I think I'm just gonna draw another card. A fighter. Okay, that's pretty good. I can definitely consider that. All right, so now it is the boss's turn. Roll the die. It's a 2. bestial regenerate. Regen one all parts in the current wave. So right now there's nothing to regen. And when it comes to the word parts, just to explain the terminology there, all of these little sections of this boss is considered a part. And they can be destroyed or kind of disabled if they've taken all the damage they could and they currently have like the health on them, meaning they can regen. So in that case, they're able to regen a little quicker if I roll a 2. So now we look at this back row, and this back row has I guess two parts there, the Rami horn and the heart. You'll notice the heart actually has some specific icon here that you probably may not have seen, but this is basically where we have to destroy to defeat the boss. So 20 damage to defeat the boss there. So let's start from the left, Rami Horn. So this has non-lethal after attacking, remove any lethal damage from the target. So this will do 5 attack, but it doesn't currently have range, so it can't attack me just yet. It could attack me once this part is completed. But anyway, the heart also doesn't have range, also doesn't have attack, so nothing's really gonna happen, but it does have a spell. It says if there is a player hero in melee with 2 or fewer life, defeat it and regen a part. So nothing right now has 2 or less life, so this won't happen. But if it did, one of my heroes would unfortunately die, and the boss will get to regen one of their parts. So that was one whole round of Pixel Tactics, the solo and co-op mode. Hopefully that kind of gives you a really quick overview of what the potential of this solo mode and co-op mode could be for your Pixel Tactics gameplay. There's a lot of details that will be included in the rulebook that I haven't mentioned. But just so you know, this is going to be part of a larger type of adventure where there likely will be a map. Of course, all this is subject to change, but there would be a map, and then you'll kind of travel along your adventure. And then once you land on a monster space, this is what will kind of like spawn, and then your gameplay happens, just like how I showed you. So it's definitely going to be an interesting mode. I'm very excited to see kind of the whole package for the solo mode. But this fighting system, I think, works. It's definitely a bit more strategic since you kind of see everything laid out. And you also kind of know what you're going to be up against, especially with these actions here that they'll be able to take on their turn. So you can kind of prepare for it a little bit better than you might in a 2-player game. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what your thoughts are on this potential solo mode. Of course, it's on Gamefound, so things are subject to change, but I do think there's a lot of potential here, and I'm excited to try this out with more plays. The different leaders obviously could change things up for you. And yeah. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. A like or a comment is also always appreciated. And a special thank you to Level 99 Games for giving me a sneak peek into a part of the adventures. All right. As always, thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.